Padraic from Hand Over Hand. Congratulations on your nominations.
Thank you.
Welcome to Milan 2015 International Film Festival. Thank you so much for attending.
Oh, it's great.
If you can just, I know we've spoken on the phone, but if you could just tell us how your background, really the build up to how this film was made, the reason why it was made.
Sure. Trying to figure out if I should stay with you.
Yes, stay with me.
Great.
It doesn't matter, but stay with me is probably more comfortable.
Oh, it's much better. I wrote and directed the film, but
Yeah.
originally it was a play. It was a 35-minute play that I wrote for a friend of mine's acting class. I interviewed 3 actors and took from that the inspiration. And it's not biographical, just inspired by that conversation. And it was funny. I was thinking about it today, knowing that we were going to talk. And I was thinking about the stability of what it takes, needing stability to be creative in your life.
Well, we should point out, that this is your first.
It's my first
foray into film, isn't it?
Yeah. And so the play went. For the acting class, it went well, and then the play got produced. And when it got produced, Gene Pope, who's playing the father of the 2 adult daughters, got cast, and then it went very well. And at the end of it, Gene had said to me, "I'd like to make a movie of this." And I have to say that every play I've written, somebody has said, we should make a movie.
So you're like, I've heard all this before.
Yeah, my answer every time is sure, because they're never really going to do it. And then it turns out Gene was very serious about it. And we talked, and he was great because I asked him, he had produced a couple of shorts, one other one that's in this festival, and he had asked, I just asked him that if it was going to be a first-time director, that he let it be me. And we had talked to a couple of directors that just didn't gel with both of us, one or the other, and then I really wanted to direct it, so that was, I'm not going to lie about that.
Gene really praised you, actually.
That's nice.
In an email he sent me. So,
good. No, it was very, and I've directed theater for 25 years. So, and for a long time I thought, I don't think like film. I think, put me in a black box with your the audience imagination. And in the last couple of years, I've been thinking, I'd like to make that into a movie. I'd like to do that as a movie. And so then I said yes, and then it was great. I'm just going to say it was a learning experience from the moment go of just rewriting the script, cut the script down to from 35 minutes down to about 22 minutes. Then we shot the film, then learning that I edited the film from 23 minutes to 18 and a half, I think, and then learning that we didn't lose anything in that story that I thought was precious when we did the play. And I don't know what else to say about it except for that was...
the experience, I'm interested. Was it how you imagined it to be? Was it a lot tougher?
At the beginning part, the writing was no problem.
Right.
Because I knew what the story was, and I understood it was the muscle. It was the muscle of thinking like a film director, because in theater you're collaborating with designers and I think visually, but you're forced to think visually in the film. And so I found that muscle the hardest to develop, like right off the bat, to be able to say, this is the image I want for the opening, this is the image.
Yeah.
And I worked nonstop every day to do that. I also find film people...
Tell it like it is.
They have a lot of, as I found it, they have a lot of adrenaline, and they sort of speak very concretely about big things before we even know what we're doing. Like, our shoot date was set before we had a house, and the play takes place at a beach house and the lake, and I thought, wow, we're already talking about definitively when we're doing this and how we're doing it, and they're throwing around big camera ideas about at one point if we can't find the right space we could do it in a studio and we'll CGI and I was like, and it was just funny because I was sitting there I remember we were having lunch when we were scouting locations and I said, I'm not going to computer generate this film.
This film isn't about that.
This film isn't going to do it. Somebody else might do that, but I'm not going to do that. And it was great because Gene, who's the producer, was tenacious and found the right spot for us. But it was funny. It was I just felt a lot of adrenaline, and I think I'm a little slower and process oriented, and realized, oh, you're going towards a product from the moment you commit to the thing to the end. It's product driven, and it was fun. I had us have 3 or 4. They had already done the play, but they had done the play about 9 months ago, and so I had us have 3 or 4 rehearsals. And I just remember Gene saying to me, rehearsal can be a luxury on film. And I thought, not on any film that I work on, because this was a relationship play and it was very important, and I needed.
So I mean, sorry to. So you when you're in theatre and it's running, it's all in one go. Obviously.
Right, go.
So but here, it's stop, chunking up. So you must be like, hang on, this is you're not used to this.
Well, that was the thinking about it, and thinking about the hardest thing was to think of like, oh, we're gonna to break down the play into scenes, because it's one continuous action. It as a play, it takes place in one location, start, jump, 35 minutes later we're in the same place, and to think about, okay, what do we have to see? And it's great because it takes place on a lake and watching the sunrise is a moment. So it was broken into 3 chapters on its own, but it was hard to think about. That was the thing where I went, oh, I have to think about where they tell what they have to see to tell the story, what the relationship is between the 3 of them. The idea that I can, this is the muscle memory I was talking about, that I could move the audience. Because in theater, you always have that seat. You're there for the whole play. Yeah. And I'm changing your focus from the stage, as opposed to, oh, I can move your seat now over here, and you can look at it from over that side, and you can now look at just the hand, and you can look at, oh, we're going to put...
It's down to you to shoot what you like.
To shoot it, that was it. And, also in the theater, we did it at... The other thing I learned is we did it at Magic Hour. The play takes place at sunset. I had not made a movie. They agreed to make the movie. They approached me to make the movie, and then the whole time, all we heard about is how impossible it is to shoot at sunset outside. And I thought, well, it's not impossible in the theater. You look out over the stage and you tell people the sun's setting.
Yeah, because you've got like 5 or 6 minutes to shoot something, or whatever it is.
That's it. You got to get it,
yeah.
And it better be there, and the clouds better not be there, and it's got to. We're shooting over. We shot over 3 days. It rained one day.
I think it was like 2 sunset nights.
Yeah. And we got the sunset it was great. We got the sunset on the first day, and we had scheduled it because if we didn't get it, we'd do it every day. Yeah. And then it was great because this 3rd day we got to do it again, just as backup, just to have something, just in case. And I will say this was, the crew was beautiful. We were at this place, Lake Champlain, up in Vermont, upstate in America, and East Coast, and it was beautiful. And I saw some stills that the crew would take because they'd all turn and take photos with their phone because it was stunning. And it was, I have to say,
Sorry, did you say during the fall?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been in New England. I was in Boston in the fall, so I know what it's like.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And so they would take their pictures every break. They're taking pictures and posting it on Facebook, or whatever. And there were some that were so stunning that all I could think was, why didn't we get that one? Why didn't we get that one? Because now I'm a movie director.
Yeah.
So
So the acid test is, would you do it again? Or do you really want to do it again?
Yeah.
I guess so much.
I really want to do it. I actually have. It's funny. I have 2-3 projects now, shorts that people have asked me to do and to write and direct, and I want to do it. And here's the thing that was great. When I say this is my first film, I'd done something. I taught at NYU.
Yeah.
And they had us partner with their film and television, and it felt a little like guerrilla filmmaking, so I did that, and I don't ever want to do that. And the thing that was nice, I do want to say about working with Gene, was that he made, and Jen Gomez, who is our line producer, is making sure that we had everything we needed. We had, we were going to film it in 3 days, so I don't remember whose idea it was, but to do 2 cameras at a time to get extra coverage, to make sure we had stuff, which I love that, by the way. I actually want to shoot like that every time, if I can. I forgot what I was saying but to say, I want to do it again. I want to do it, but it taught me a lesson. I want to do it right. You know, when we got in the editing room, it was an education to say, thank God this looks good, this sounds good, but I also learned, you know, if you don't have a moment, you don't have a moment.
Yeah, because if you haven't shot it, you haven't shot it.
Yeah.
And I mean, short of getting the whole crew back together and going back down into the wrong.
Right.
Forget it.
And it's a month later, or 6 weeks later, or 2 months later. Yeah. Now it's snowing in Vermont.
Yeah, because now you're out of the fall, you're into the winter. Yeah. It's like, hang on a minute, there was
what happened? So it was funny because the other thing I learned, I said this in the talkback the other day. In a play, lights come up, somebody walks on stage, the play starts. But starting a film is a whole different thing. You're bringing people into a story, and we ended up editing out. I mean, the beginning is exactly the same, but then after about the first 30 seconds, I think we cut about 2 minutes, just because, that's not bringing anybody into the story. And so I learned that too, to think about that. But yes, that's the part when I was in the editing room. I'm like, so there's no way to get that? And it's like, it's not there. You know, so that was good to learn. But you asked if I want to do it again. Yeah, I want to. And I'm watching at the festival, watching everybody's going, oh, how'd they do that shot? How'd they get that shot? Oh, what's the story? Is this because I have one that's a pure narrative that I'm going to do, and then one is all based on camera shots. So I was watching a couple earlier today just to watch that.
You've been seduced on the dark side, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Wonderful to talk to you.